When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanishing Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 340, season 14. Today's date is June 16th, 2024, and welcome to the show. And happy Father's Day, everybody. On today's program, of course, I will talk about Father's Day, my memories of that day. Also, I'll talk about the 45th anniversary of the Son of Svengoolie show. That premiered on June 16th, 1979 on WFLD TV, Channel 32 in Chicago. And it's still on the air, but it's on a different channel. I'll explain. I'll talk about my memories and, what I think about the show now. And also I'll talk about something very unusual. It's sort of not around, but kind of. It's about vintage gas credit cards, and this is from gas stations that no longer exist. Some gas stations have them, not many, but I'm talking about like in the old days. So I will explain later on the show. Okay. Right now, the program will go into a commercial break, and this program is brought to you by Puritan Cooking Oil. Do you remember that one? And here's a commercial from 1978. So just sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the show, folks. Thank you.
Hey, your folks got a new set of wheels. Look at that.
Oh, you look at that.
Oh, you two are something else.
We brought you something.
Boy, I know this is going to be something good. Puritan oil?
Dad and I are on a diet to fight cholesterol, and Puritan's part of it.
And it also makes Mom's food taste delicious.
But, Mom, we've both always used corn oil.
Puritan has no cholesterol either, but it's different. There's sunflower oil in here, and more polyunsaturates than your corn oil. It also looks lighter.
Tastes lighter.
Mm-hmm.
That's why with Puritan, there's no heavy taste to get between you and your food.
Can we have seconds?
Well,
You young folks really know what's cooking.
New Puritan, a delicious part of your diet to fight cholesterol.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Puritan Oil. This product came out in the late 70s. It's been around, and then it was on the market for much of the 80s. It disappeared. Maybe it couldn't compete with the other cooking oils, like, for example, Crisco, Wesson. What's another one? Can't think of the top of my head. I think those are the only two I can think of on my top of my head. Those are still around, of course. And I remember they used to advertise this all over television over the years when I was a kid. Crisco and, with the flaky crust, flaky pie crust. And of course, Wesson Oil with Florence Henderson. With that Wessonality. So it's kind of funny like that. So my mom never bought Puritan. I don't think she did. She always buys Crisco. Yeah, she always buys Crisco. Yeah. Anyway, at the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about the Father's Day. Took a couple of my memories of that, and also the 45th anniversary of Son of Svengoolie. That's a show still on the air, and also vintage gas credit cards. Okay, so right now I'm going to talk about Father's Day, which is today. Happy Father's Day to all fathers. I'm not a father. I'm not married. I don't have children. I want to talk about my father briefly. I wish my father was here because after going through all this health stuff, I would love his support. Unfortunately, he passed away January 4th, 2006. And that's like about 18 years ago. I still think about him every day. I do miss him. I like him when he's around, he wasn't a talkative person, and I would say, hello, how are you? That's it. I never had a sit down conversation with him, serious. He wasn't like that because he was never home. He was like either at work or he had some property. We had some property he had to tend to. And on days off, he would, he did spend with it. But the great thing about him is he worked hard and provided a home, a roof over our heads. And he put me and my brothers through college. Because he did not go to school. He had he hardly barely passed grade school. He grew up very poor. I won't go into that. So he did not want us to be like him. No. And I could understand that. Because when I was growing up, I had a tough time at school. I didn't learn very well. And, when college came up and I'm going, I didn't want to go to college. I'm terrible. My grades are crap. And he said, I had to explain to him. He didn't understand. My grades are awful. He was a little upset, but, so there was three choices. One, I spoke to a high school counselor one time at Bogan High School. You get a job. You go to daily college. They accept anyone, or you go to the military. On the senior year, the military used to visit every day, all the time, and they used to call at the house. One that would have been great. It's not like the old days. Like you get up early in the morning, go up two, up three, up four, and you do exercise. I mean, you still do that, but you get an education. My parents were against it. They didn't want me to do that. They didn't want me to go away. They didn't want to do that. And besides, I didn't have the physique, and I'm not crazy about getting up early in the morning. So my option was going to daily college. Actually, I wanted to go to work. Actually, he was going to give me a job where he worked at the Conrad Hilton Hotel. He was a waiter. That was one option. But I told him, no. I mean, I'll get a regular job. But I'll try daily college, for a while. I did enroll. I got accepted. I didn't do so well either. I stunk. So I wanted to drop out. He says, no, you can't drop out. You got to do something. So I enrolled in DeVry instead of technology. Luckily, they accepted me, and I did okay. And I graduated with the degree and all that. And he was very happy about that. It wasn't a college. It was like, but at least I got an education. As for my brothers, they did attend universities, so they turned out fine. And then I look back, I look back and I knew he was right. You have to apply yourself. You have to, don't end up like me. He told me, don't end up like me, please. It hurt him. As long as but he kept bugging me every day. Go to college, go to school. I hated that. I wanted to leave the house, But one time I yelled at him, but he was right, And I love him for that. I really do. So, but every Father's Day we bought him a present. Bought him a tie and a card. My favorite thing is he read it upside down. It's a joke, just to irritate my mother. And so he was around, but he liked certain things. He wasn't into sports, or he couldn't read. he was into stocks and like that. So didn't have many friends, you know. It's a shame. But, you know, he loved going to church with my mom. You know, he loved that, you know, especially Easter time. You know, but I liked him around. I mean, but now he's not. So he's gone. And I still miss him. I miss him a lot. So I want to say happy Father's Day to everybody, you know. So it doesn't bother me anymore, but every time I think about him, and you know, I get all teary-eyed like that. So, you know, he was a good dad. He really was. Okay. Right now, I'm going to talk about the 45th anniversary of the Son of Svengoolie. You're probably asking why it's on Vanish Chicagoland, even though the show is still on. Well, this is very special to me. You know, part of it is it's on a different channel. Second, he's the second one. He's not the original one. The first one was Svengoolie, played by Jerry G. Bishop. And he started the show in 1970, probably the same night as Creature Features aired on WGN-TV Channel 9 in Chicago. The movies I'm sorry, so I'll get to Svengoolie. So he dressed up like a hippie with those striped pants and the long hair and the goofy sunglasses. And they played that song by Dwayne Eddy, you know. And he would do some sketches, you know, and he had some crazy characters, you know, with the talking skull. I love it. That's Tombstone, you know, and there was, I think, Zelda the nurse, I believe. Yeah, she was like that. She was a skull with a long black hair with a nurse's cap. He was on the show for about 4 years or something like that. He was a big hit. The movies he played were kind of not A movies. They were like B movies, kind of cheap. Some were imported from other countries. I remember that. And they used to play them all the time. I remember the ads from on the TV Guide. You know, they showed Channel 32. They were I don't know who the artist was, but they were kind of cool. I mean, you could find them on the internet. Excuse me. So after he was done, you know, Jerry G. Bishop, I think he went to WMAQ Radio, and then he left, and he hosted a morning show, and then he retired. Then one day, I was in San Diego at Comic-Con. I wish I could go back. I love going there. I haven't been there in a long time. He owned a Greek restaurant. So I went there after the convention to get something to eat. That's typical of me because I like a Greek dinner. He was right there at the cash register. I recognized him immediately, and he had a picture of him. There was a picture of him as Svengoolie. I look at him. I looked at the picture of the wall, and I said, "Are you Jerry G. Bishop?" He says, "Yes." And I asked him, well, I introduced myself. I'm Pete Costanis. I'm from Chicago. I live in Oakland. Southsider. He thinks I'm a Sox fan or something, but he seemed very nice. He was kind of quiet, you know. And I asked him a question. Was this your idea of the skull with the cigar in the mouth? He goes, yes, it was. That's my idea. Okay, fine. That was your idea. So, and then I ordered dinner, and that's the last time I saw him. You know, then he passed away a few years later. The family continued to run the restaurant, and I think they closed later. I think it's still open. No, I don't think so. So I had great memories of him. Now, they brought the show back. And on June 16th, 1979, they brought The Son of Svengoolie, hosted by someone else, by Rich Coase. I think I pronounced his name correctly. And he was, at first, people began to warm up to him. You know, he was fine. I don't remember if I watched the first show. Probably, I seen maybe the second or third. I didn't watch it during the summer because I went to Greece with my family, so I didn't see that. Anyway, so Did it become a big hit at first? Probably. And then it aired, Friday nights, and then Saturday later on, I guess. So people warm up to it, and they loved him. And he did the same thing that his father, Svengoolie, did, with the sound effects, and the voice. And it's still done to this day, and it's still hilarious. I know it's corny. The jokes are corny. I understand that, but I don't care. It's like the Three Stooges or like Rowan Martin's Laughing. It's like the jokes are corny, but it's funny, and he does it. And Rich Coast does an excellent job. I love him for that. I really do. So he continued that up until 1986, and it was canceled, which is sad. He had a good run. He had a good run. And then he continued to work for Channel 32. He hosted a couple of kid shows, or he was an announcer. And then in 1994, I believe, it's got to be 94, WCIU was a Spanish station, Spanish language station. I can't say that fast. Became a regular station, syndicated. And one of the first shows that aired was Svengoolie. They asked Rich Coast to come back. He accepted. And then it went on, and then it switched to MeTV, which he's currently now on Saturday nights. And the show's still great. He shows great movies. Some are repeated, but that's okay. But he's got some, he does the same acts. He's got, like, for example, the rubber chickens in the coffin. He would say that. And I love his trivia. I think I'm the one or two people who understand what he's saying, like from old TV shows and references like that. Young people are like, huh? But one time, Ben goes, just Google it, you'll find it. He did that. And anyway, he was wonderful. He is wonderful. He's great. He's awesome. I watch him every week. I really do. I love it. I really do. And then one day, about a couple of years ago, out of the blue, someone on Facebook says, we're going to have Svengoolie Day, and I'm inviting you to there. Svengoolie, you want to participate? Oh, I didn't even know. I said, okay, I'll go. So I got interviewed by somebody from the show and said, would you like to come? Okay, I will. And it was Svengoolie Day. It was held in Berwyn. It was held at a park. And I went over there, and I was holding the sign. I think people have seen me on Facebook many times. And then Rich Coase showed up, accepted the key to the city of Berwyn. That was fun. And he held his rubber chicken. And he thanked everybody and all that. And, I wish I met him in person. I would have loved that. I would have liked that. But he knows me now because we're friends on Facebook and X. And today, I mentioned it's the 45th anniversary of the debut of Son Of Svengoolie. And he responded and he said, thank you. And I said, you're welcome. I'm going to do a podcast about you. I hope he reads it. I hope he listens. That's up to him if he has time, because I'm doing this for his honor. I really am, because he's an awesome guy, very nice man. Someday we'll meet. It'll be fun to do that. I haven't ordered a Svengoolie shirt. I should someday. I hope so. Anyway, so happy 45th anniversary, Sven. I hope you have more to come. I really enjoy your show. I really do. You make everyone laugh. You make everyone happy. We get away from the craziness from the world, and we just want to watch and laugh and relax. That's what we need. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling. And he provided that. And he's still providing that. And I'm very appreciative. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Right now, I'm going to talk about vintage gas credit cards. Now, in the old days, When you go to a gas station, you pay cash for your gas, or, just like in the old days when in Texaco's, you go in, there's like a serviceman. He would clean your windshield, check under the hood of your car, check your tires. Not anymore. No, no full service station. I wish they bring them back. I think so. Last I heard, in New Jersey, they do something like that. I think so. Anyway, so I remember those gas credit cards when I was a little boy. I used to see those plastic ones with the pretty colors, the pretty logos like that, and they look kind of cool. Very nice. I asked my mom one day when I was a little boy, "What are those things?" They're credit cards. You're too young for those. Okay. I never owned one. Never owned one. I have credit cards, but not a gas credit card. No, never did. So the majority of the gas stations that provided credit cards were some that are no longer around or moved elsewhere. Out of Chicago were Sinclair, that's still around, it's out west, Texaco, Sunoco, Phillips 66, Union 76, So, what's the other one? Mobile, still around like that. There was City Services that turned into Citgo. There was Pure, remember Pure, like that. Gas station, Standard Oil, which turned to Amoco. Then they left. Now they came back. I think because it was BP before. A lot of gas stations like that. I don't know if some are still around. I don't know if some gas stations. I think Speedway does. I think I'm not sure, but usually now people, when they have credit cards, they don't use gas credit cards. They use a regular one. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. They use those to pay gas, and they get points. They get like that mileage. Like I said, I never had one. So if I needed to use a credit card, I'd use a regular one. I would do that. Usually when I go get gas, I pay cash. I have cash, like that. I think this is for people who travel a lot. Go on vacation or on business. They use those like that. And let's see. So what other ones did I see? There were so many. Well, the current gas stations, they had them like Shell, and what's another gas station? Well, there was Citgo, of course. I mentioned that. It's funny, there's so many. I think I mentioned them all like that. So anyway, so it was fine. Like I said, they were so colorful, very colorful indeed, like that. So now I'm going to play a commercial. It's from Texaco gas station from 1969, and it explains you can use your Texaco gas station credit card. Okay, I'm going to play that, and when I come back, I will wrap up the show. All right, so sit back and relax, everyone. Thank you.
The John Hamlins of Malibu, California are leaving this morning on a cross-country vacation. They'll be able to get whatever their car may need with the one credit card that really gets around. Texaco has the only credit card honored under the same sign in all 50 states and throughout Canada. Ask for an application at your nearby Texaco station. More and more people trust their car to the man who wears the Texaco star.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Texaco. from 1969 with the gas credit card. You can find those on YouTube. Those commercials with Bob Hope. Of course, it goes way back to Milton Berle or Ed Wynn in the radio days. No one my age or younger would remember that. That's older stuff, like that. So anyway, like I said before, maybe a couple still uses them, not just Visa or MasterCard or American Express. I'm talking about like their own brand like that. So maybe like Shell. They probably do. Maybe. I don't know. No idea. Okay. All right. So that's it for this show. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about Father's Day, my memories of that. I also talked about the 45th anniversary of the Son of Svengoolie show, hosted by Rich Coase, still on the air. It's wonderful, wonderful man, wonderful show. And also a vintage gas credit cards. This show will be This show will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Breaker, Overcast. Also will be on my blog, vanishchicagoland.blog. Also will be on my YouTube channel. Again and again and again, people always ask me, where do I find your podcasts? Where do I find your podcasts? Go to YouTube. Type in the search engine, Vanish Chicagoland Stories or Vanish Chicagoland Stories, the podcast, or my name, Pete Costanas. You will find it. Click subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Same thing with the apps. You click follow. You get the latest episodes. You get notifications. You can also listen to previous episodes if you like. Same thing with the YouTube channel. Also, it'll be shared on my social media accounts: Facebook, X, Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn, Reddit, and Blue Sky, and TikTok. Okay. So this is Pete Costanas, your host for Vanish Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. I had a wonderful time. Today is going to be a hot one, about 91. I'll be going somewhere today, hopefully later on the night when the heat subsides, like that. And it's gorgeous out. It's nice, and everyone keep cool, stay cool. Drink a lot of water, don't exert yourselves like that. Okay, so here's bye-bye for me, and here's a little traveling music from Ray Rayner saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.